Better wake up, America. It looks like they're running from America. Bitcoin, XRP, Ripple, the company. As the SEC, the circus continues. They are running from America. So the next 30 days, about 32 days before this presidential election, are going to be absolutely wild. There's going to be tons of distractions. And remember, as you look this way, there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. In today's video, I'm going to break down how BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, is out there doing presentations in Brazil, how Ripple is teaming up with companies all over the world outside of America, and how other countries are using Bitcoin to not only solve a sovereign debt crisis, but also to accelerate their balance sheets to create sovereignty. This is happening extremely fast now. Remember, in 2017, it was a pet rock. It was used for money laundering. In 2020 to about 2023, you're a criminal if you use this stuff. In about 2023, all of a sudden, the largest asset manager in the world, now it's a flight to quality. And the big money is running to Bitcoin, gold, silver, real estate, and all the things that are for wartime economics and high inflation. And Bitcoin has become a risk on, risk off asset. So let's break it down. Back in every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. So the first thing I want to share with you guys here, this came from Bitcoin Magazine here. It says new 10 trillion BlackRock presents at the Bitcoin conference in Brazil. The new marketing team is here. So we went from, think about that. We went from it's used for money laundering to Larry Fink totally flipping his narrative in 2023 to now them going on a marketing campaign for Bitcoin. Okay, so this came out from Bitcoin Magazine as well. It says just in, Argentine vice president talks with El Salvador president about their Bitcoin volcano bonds. Bitcoin is something that interests me a lot. The reason why, think about this for just a moment, and I'm going to show you a little trailer to the Bitcoin documentary that's coming out. I'm really excited to see it on October 8th. Is 2009. I cannot wait to see what the narrative is in there. They said something about connection to the government in the trailer. We'll watch it all together. It's just 2000. It's just everything lines up so perfectly. Bitcoin's created in 2009 after the biggest collapse in America, right? Every other country's like, dude, America's sloppy as hell. They're not even regulating their banks. Larry Fink and BlackRock were tapped by the Federal Reserve in 2008 to balance out the markets and 2020 to balance out the markets. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa came together to create BRICS to de-dollarize. And now all these countries are going to use Bitcoin to solve their sovereign debt crisis and to increase their balance sheet and become powerful as a sovereign country. And now all of a sudden a documentary is coming out by HBO and the SEC in America keeps this circus alive. We messed up in America. I really believe that. Or there's something more sinister behind the scenes going on. And who knows? Who knows? But all we can do is follow the wave of energy. That's what we can do. Okay. This is interesting too. We know China was trying to ban cryptocurrency, but now China's, I had this to translate it here, had it translated. So China's former vice finance minister calls for more research on cryptocurrencies. They're starting to flip the switch here, guys. The 2024 Tsing PCB Chief Economist Forum was held in Beijing on September 28th. A former vice minister of the Ministry of Finance attended and delivered a speech. He called for attention to be paid to the study and development of cryptocurrencies. It does have negative effects, he says, and we must fully recognize its risk and harm to the capital markets, but we must study the latest international changes and policy adjustments because it's a crucial aspect of the development of a digital economy. So remember, the EU, they're fully going into regulation in a digital dollar, guys. Okay, we're over here in America with our sitting on our hands. There's a reason behind that. I don't know. Maybe it will come out, but there's a reason why Gary Gensler turned Congress partisan, and he just keeps going at it and going at it and going at it. But it'll come out. All darkness comes to light. We'll figure out why eventually, right? But for most people, it's going to be too late. People are going to come rushing in when Bitcoin's at an all-time high, when XRP is skyrocketing, right? It's always going to be that way. But I know that that's not what you do. You're focused. You're not looking this way. You're looking over this way. And remember, nothing continues to go up. Everything is a wave. Everything's a wave of energy. Relationships are never perfect. The markets are never straight up. Business is never straight up. As it goes up, make sure you're secure outside of cryptocurrency, right? As it goes down, buy it. Just follow these waves of energy. Sell, secure, buy. Sell, secure, buy. Okay, Bitcoin Magazine just in 1.6 trillion. Franklin Templeton files for Bitcoin and ETH index ETF with SEC. I mean, how much proof do you need, family? How much proof do you need? All of them are getting involved. And people are telling us Bitcoin's going to go to zero. XRP is going to zero. What planet are you on? What are you talking about? Like, why would all these large companies, these massive companies, be creating ETFs? Why would they all be getting involved in it? It doesn't make any sense. So if you're around anybody talking that nonsense, like, just get away from them. I'm serious, just negative energy. They, people are like, well, I have insight that this is going to happen. I'm like, why would Franklin Templeton? Why would BlackRock? Why would Morgan Stanley? Why would they be going so hard on Bitcoin when they don't know who it is? They don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. You think the largest asset manager in the world would go all in on an asset class not knowing who it is? That just seems very weird to me. It just seems odd to me. I don't know. That's just logic, right? Okay, so then we move on to Ripple here. Ripple put this out yesterday, I believe. Ripple's end-to-end payment solution is now live in Brazil. Brazil is getting some crypto attention here, right? We got BlackRock out there doing their marketing technique, and then Ripple just had a huge partnership with Brazil. Learn how our new partnerships with Mercado Bitcoin will streamline the treasury operation between Brazil and Portugal, boosting cross-border payments efficiently via Ripple Management Payment Solutions. Okay, so you click on here, you can go deep into it. We got more news here, guys. So this is, what's going on here? There we go. Cointelegraph, just in, JP Morgan highlights the rising geopolitical risks that could lead investors in favor of Bitcoin and gold. The flight to quality is already happening. I mean, come on, man. They're all going to turn. Eventually, Jamie Dimon will say, oh, I was wrong. Bitcoin is I mean, guys, they were buying Bitcoin when they were saying it was a rock, if pet rock. They were. It's always been this way, guys. First they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Tim Draper. Think about that. The 1% is always going to remain the 1% until you wake up to the 1%, what they do. Okay. So lastly, I want to watch this all together. This is so much fun. I cannot see this documentary. And also, guys, get prepared. We'll be announcing very soon the premieres of XRP Unleashed. I'll be in LA and Arizona. I would love to meet you guys personally, so I'll let you guys know the details on that. And then soon after that, about a month after that, the actual documentary will be released to the public out in streaming platforms. So I'll be in LA premiere and the Arizona premiere. So this documentary, like this HBO documentary, is going to be badass. And then the XRP Unleashed, you will be shocked the bombshells that are going to be dropped in there. And a lot of people are like, is it just, no, it goes from grassroots all the way to the top of Ripple. And there's some bombshells in there that you will be blown away and you'll want to be shared with your family. Your family will be like, wow. Okay, let's check this out all together. This is the HBO documentary that's coming out October 8th around Bitcoin.
Satoshi Nakamoto, the inventor of Bitcoin, could be one of the richest people on Earth. But many years ago, Satoshi had disappeared, and with Bitcoin being woven into the fabric of the financial system, solidifying its role as digital gold, perhaps the question of Satoshi's identity was more pressing than ever.
We should start with just an interview with you in Malta, if that sounds good to you.
Okay.
Who would have been working around the clock to introduce something like Bitcoin?
A lot of technical people will say, I could have done that. It's actually much harder than it looks.
Anyone confident enough to go do Bitcoin probably would confident enough to not leave any traces.
Satoshi's got nothing to pick up by his stash.
Yeah, just 1 million Bitcoin.
The currency derived from electricity might pose a real threat to the dollar.
3, 2, 1.
If it gained in popularity.
I'm the crazy prince that is talking about Bitcoin.
What we're trying to do is get parallel systems in place. Dollars, Bitcoin, pesos, Bitcoin, yen, Bitcoin.
If it looks like something could replace the US dollar as the world's reserve currency, three-letter agencies will do whatever they can to disrupt projects like Bitcoin.
I would rather buy shit that's worth something than buying crypto.
Bitcoin is about undermining the Federal Reserve, disintermediating the nation state.
It's not like Satoshi had some master plan.
Yeah, it's like you're in some sort of cult. You guys are having fun now.
Right?
Satoshi left a lot of digital history.
When he left, he distributed control amongst different people in the community.
Were you the first person that Satoshi reached out to?
I believe so, yeah.
Best evidence of him being Satoshi.
Of not being Satoshi.
Being Satoshi.
What indication did you have that he was collaborating with the government?
If you dig deep enough, the inconsistencies will emerge.
He's responding.
I've been told Satoshi was a group of people.
I have to be careful of talking about that topic.
He checks a lot of boxes.
I will admit, you're pretty creative. You come with some crazy theories.
Here's what I think happened.
It's Bitcoin. Don't trust, verify.
That's going to be really, really, really intriguing, man. Really intriguing. So when I put my logical circuit on, I always look backwards to predict the future, right? I look back at 2009. I look at 2012, like 2009, Bitcoin's inception, BRICS was created. Okay. So we're going to watch this documentary and go deeper into it and figure out maybe we had some clues. And then 2012, we had Rosie Rios was told to reduce coin and cash usage, but she couldn't because Obama turned the printing machine on full blast with the Obama Rescue Plan. So cash started moving at the speed of light. They were already working to move into digitization, digitizing the dollar. I was in banking school at that time in 2012 to 2016, I think it was my run. In 2012 to 2013, they switched us to fintech in our banking model. So we have a SIM model, and they're like, hey, we're switching to fintech, financial technology. So the banks were already transitioning back then. They also created the Bank Bail-In Committee in 2012, preparing us for this moment in time, which a bank bail-in is different than a bank bailout. A bank bailout is they inject cash into the bank. They save them. A bank bail-in is where they take the debt of the bank, they turn it into equity, and then bigger banks monopolize them. So now we had the first bank bail-in in 2000, was it 23 or 2023? I think it was that Silicon Valley Bank. And then we had the monopolization of them. But a lot of people don't realize the Federal Reserve actually pumped money into them, gave them loans to help them survive, so people didn't think the banks were collapsing. So now here we are. So now here we are in 2024, and now Bitcoin was part of the at the Bitcoin conference. You have Trump, you had RFK, you had Cynthia Lummis, you had Kamala saying she might go there, she might not go there. She's switching to pro crypto supposedly, right? And then you have this weird thing going on with the SEC versus Ripple, the most disruptive cross-border payment technology that has been invented in history. And you have this huge run to Bitcoin, which is one of the most disruptive things to the American financial system, supposedly decentralized, but they want to bring it underneath the treasury. So is it you can't beat it and join it, or is it we created it to solve it? Let me say that again. Is it you can't beat it, go ahead and join it, or is it we created it to solve it, to solve the American debt crisis, the printing of money, and the massive greed in America? But I'm here to tell you guys, people are done with America bullying them with their currency. We're going to be on an even playing field. It's going to be a bag of currencies. It's going to be regulated by a bag of currencies. America eventually will no longer be the dominant currency. Doesn't make any sense. Why would you need America to be the dominant currency? Why? So what we're going to see is America is going to work feverishly to bring crypto innovation to America, and people who are properly invested in these asset classes are probably going to become some of the richest people in the world, right? But you got to be very, very strategic. We have the bull run from 2024 to 2026, okay? Then it's going to collapse, and we're going to have 4 years. That's what I'm excited about. I don't even care about the bull run. I'm more excited about 2026 to 2029, because that next 4 years, you're going to see black swans. You're going to see problem, reaction, solution. And then as we go into 2029 and 2030, that's where the big implementation comes. That's where all banks will be custodying your crypto. And they're going to be begging for you to put your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your XRP there, because they're going to want it, because it's an appreciating asset. And that is going to be our new monetary system for the next 100 years. Is it by chance that Bitcoin is going to be mined for 116 years? Weird, right? America Federal Reserve was created in 1913. We're 100 years in the Federal Reserve System. They literally buried us in debt. 98% of the value of US dollars collapsed, 98 to 99% since 1913. And now all of a sudden they have this new Bitcoin thing that's going to be mined for 116 years. 94% of the supply is gone, 6% is left, and these asset managers in countries are trying to buy it up as quick as possible. And you may own a piece of something that nobody will ever be able to own, but they're all trying to bring it underneath their balance sheets and their treasury. I mean, did we all get played, or what is this? Is this the biggest hat trick we've ever seen? Is this the Roman days where we're all in the Colosseum and the Trojan horse is coming in? You got to get off the wine, man. You got to get focused. You got to get your nutrition in line. You got to start fasting, meditating, praying, and get this mind super clear so you can logically see this stuff and you can make decisions based on discernment, not based on emotion of the SEC appealing and everybody panic sells. You're going to get wrecked 100% of the time if you're emotional about this. You got to think logically. You got to think strategically. And your job right now is to protect your family financially, spiritually, and mentally. So that's all I got for you guys today. I love you guys. I appreciate you very, very much. As I always say, share with you guys exactly what I do. So what I do is I use the risk pyramid. Okay, crypto is at the top, high risk, high return. So when I start to return, it's going to be back end of October, November, boom, it's going to go straight up. I pull on exit targets on the way up. I bring mine down the risk pyramid, down to tier one capital. Pull it up. At the bottom of a risk pyramid is tier one capital. You have bonds, you have bank accounts, you have, because they're FDIC insured supposedly, and then you have and then you got bonds, bond market. The economic advisor for Biden doesn't even know how bonds work, so I'm not going into bonds personally. Then you have insurance right at the bottom, the foundation of the financial system. That's why banks, BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. That's why people have tons of insurance, right? Insurance companies are opposite than banks. They're over leveraged. Banks are under leveraged, right? The first annuity was in the Roman days, right? So there's things that have been here forever. Insurance, people need a place to live, houses, and precious metals, and supposedly Bitcoin now, right? And so those are the things that will always be here. Insurance companies survive recessions, world wars, right? So I like to bring my house money. I make house money. I insure it. So I insure my wealth, right? Then from there, I get most of my wealth from my businesses. We have companies in information technology, attention, education, but I don't go buy a bunch of fancy shit. I've been taking it back into the markets and keep doing this because I'm focused on generational wealth. Will I buy nice stuff? Absolutely. When the assets can pay for the liabilities. But until that point, I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay diligent. Yeah. So if you need any support at all, we get I'm so grateful that we do. We get hundreds of messages a day. I work to answer every single message. It's almost impossible. We do the best we can. So we created what's called a needs assessment. I want to be very clear what that is. If you click the description of this video or in my social media platform, the needs assessment, people are like, how do you insure your wealth? How do you insure your wealth? We can walk you through that, but what's more important is what do you need? That's what's important. Everybody's situation is completely different, right? Based on your age, based on your wealth paradigm, based on your potential for earning, your retirement strategies. We can walk you through that, okay? And it's a free consultation. We don't get paid by the client, okay? So make sure that you don't ever send money to anybody pretending to be me. It's a free consultation. You'll fill it out as detailed as possible. They will call you, text you, email me. They set up an appointment with you, show up, please. We have hundreds of people responding to this. So we thank you for your time. I have people waiting to help you out. And so just make sure you show up. They'll text you, call, email. You'll never send my team money, okay? So it's a free consultation. Also, I have another resource for you. If you tap the link, you'll see Coach JV Academy. I've helped over 8,500 people, coming up on 9,000 by the end of this year with education. We have an education platform in there. We have my revolutionary 120-day challenge. If you need to get your shit together, I'll walk you through a 4-month program that will it's changed so many people's lives. We have live calls. We have marketing calls. We have the market calls, everything. It's tons of resources and like-minded people just like you. So I think that's all I got for you guys today. Love you. Warriors. Let's get your shit together. Let's go.